Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 13 of the F1 Agenda podcast. I'm your host, Dan, and today we'll be joined by Jeebus,
Hello.
Geordie,
Hello.
Lambrex,
Yo.
and Zaf.
Is coming home.
Great intro. And today we'll be discussing the 2018 Austrian Grand Prix, and I think we can all agree that was a pretty good race.
It was alright.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, God.
There was no refueling, so it's shit.
Now V10s!
No, it was a very good race. It was a very, very, very good race.
Was it better than Baku?
No.
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 Arguments for. I mean, it's not many times you get a double Mercedes DNF.
I know, it doesn't. That's not a good race.
It
like-
is.
That doesn't make it a good race.
It does.
I mean, that's like saying.
Okay, right.
No, it doesn't
I
make it doesn't make it a good race because you're just taking away two cars that would be part of the action.
Well, it makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Just like, all
Yeah.
Merker out, let's see
It
what
was
happens
very
here then.
interesting. I mean, I do feel really bad for James Vowles.
Oh, I mean, my heart goes out to the guy,
Well,
as well as Bottas.
You know, he fucks up. I mean, he took he fucked up and he stood up for it. I mean, he did a good job, really.
And it's like really heartbreaking because like it takes so much guts to like go on to the radio. You know it's going to be broadcast.
Like, he could have just said it after the race, when just for
Yeah.
Lewis, but he decided to come on the radio in public and say, "This
And
is
it's
my
like-
mistake."
You could hear the frustration in Hamilton's voice as well.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
why would you
Which is
not?
understandable when you've just
Which is very,
basically had a
very
race win
understandable.
taken from
Yeah. And then you could like hear the heartbreak in James. It was just so.
you. Yeah,
It was emotional. So the human aspect of F1 I love.
yeah.
But it, I mean, we were. I memed there a bit.
No,
I said,
you're right.
You know, it's good. It's good. It's good that Mercedes like double DNF, but there are a lot of good people who work for Mercedes,
Yeah.
and you know.
I mean,
but-
if I'm honest with you, like, as soon as Bottas went out, I knew that Lewis was going to go out as well.
Hamilton, no, not Hamilton. Bottas retiring just broke my heart.
When is the
Like
guy
him-
going to get a break? Like,
And him losing
seriously.
him losing the lead as well. It was just like, why can't Hamilton have a bad start? Where's 2016 when you need it? You know, put some like goose fat on the starting thing.
Drop some oil.
Yeah, cover his tires in oil.
I will say this though, I mean, yeah, Mercedes had a bad weekend, but I think this weekend they really state their claim as, like, now they are ahead of Ferrari.
They were ridiculous.
Yeah, they were miles ahead.
Like,
They're
to be 3.5-4 tenths ahead of Ferrari in qualifying on a track as short as Austria is extremely worrying for the other teams.
I mean,
Yeah.
their upgrades clearly worked, and then Hamilton was like clearing ahead.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Mm.
because if Mercedes had pit on the vote safe car, it would have been an easy win. I mean, obviously they're retired, but like if there was no reliability, it would have been an easy one too.
Well, I think if he had been leading that and he had pit, then they would have like got the signs a bit earlier. So
Yeah,
then
maybe
it
the engine might not have been under so much stress
Well,
either, with
yeah.
it out
Yeah,
front on its own
it's-
instead of chasing back from fourth. It was probably under more stress.
He was clearly like stressing it to try and get ahead.
Yeah.
I think the gearbox is always going to go. That's kind of like one thing you can't really, you can't really predict in a way.
Yeah.
but I mean,
But I guess
I
it makes it rather interesting in the championship now.
mean, I always say that, you know, Mercedes are like sort of out of the two championship type teams, they are like the better operationally, and I still believe that. I mean, you know, I think every team, you know, has one race a season where it just falls apart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean they've got that German efficiency, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I just think, you know, it's just these things happen. Like, yeah, I mean,
Motorsport is a harsh world. You can't win them all.
yeah, but I mean, and I know we're not going to talk about the Vettel incident in qualifying, but I just will say this. I mean, it's probably not a penalty, if I'm honest with you, considering other incidents. But what I will just say is that it's just a little bit nonchalant, and Ferrari need to be careful. They were very lucky that they were able to take advantage today.
Yeah.
Well, not today. It was like 2 days ago already. But
In the race, they weren't even second best. They were third.
they were third best. Yeah, they were very
yeah.
very lucky to
Red
get
Bull
away
were
with it.
It's like had
Like
Ricardo
Vettel
not
was
had his,
like nowhere the entire race. Like he was just sat like on his own, just like.
And if I'm
He wouldn't
honest,
do anything.
when Vettel started to overtake Hamilton, I get the feeling they were already in trouble with the car because it looked
Yeah.
visibly slow.
Didn't he
There was
have reports before that he
Yes.
was felt like he was losing power?
Yeah, and
So that's probably where it started. And it
because
just got worse and worse.
it was a fuel pressure issue, and one of the things with a fuel pressure issue is you straight away feel the power from the engine just go
Yeah.
it was a brilliant overtake by Vettel on Hamilton though.
Yeah,
It
it
was a good
was.
overtake. Yeah.
And yeah, but it interests me on that one at turn 3, take turn 2, turn 3, whatever you want to call it. Both Kimi and Vettel both locked up and went wide. Which, I mean, say what about the car maybe, or maybe they're both pushing too much. But
It might have been the
clearly-
tyres. They were on ultras compared
I
to.
don't know why
the
they went
majority of
onto the
supers.
ultras.
No, I
'Cause
don't get it. No.
On Friday,
it was-
they
it's
knew
a bit
the
weird.
ultras. They knew the ultras were like they were shit on the ultras, because they
Yeah.
like compared it. Even on the softs, they were basically the same pace as on the ultras, but the ultras just have no life. Basically,
Yeah, they just wore out really quickly.
had they not had the VSC, I doubt they would have like got a podium.
Oh no, they would have been 5th and 6th, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, they would have had to make another stop. Obviously, had the Mercedes not retired, then
Yeah.
Verstappen would have got 3rd, and Bottas would have got 2nd, and Hamilton would have won. Blah 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 blah.
I really
But-
feel like it's a turning point now, though. I think we're at a point in the season where, I mean, I don't want to like jinx Lewis particularly. Not that I massively support him, but I don't want to jinx anybody, to be honest with you. But it's a British Grand Prix, you know. If he wins that, it's looking good for Mercedes. They'll really
He's
want
like-
they'll really want the 1-2 there.
He's likely to win.
Oh yeah.
So they've got harder tyres, and they've got the tread which they like.
Well, having said that, I mean they were the fastest team in Austria, so I'm not sure how much of that tread thing is actually important.
Well, it helps though.
Oh yeah, it helps them, but
It
like
gives them a slight, like a very marginal advantage.
Hamilton struggled
But I think they have enough
on
of
the
that anyway.
tyres in the race because of like being behind the slower cars for so long and trying to push so hard.
Well, it's interesting because they bought this new rear wing, which is supposed to help them with their rear tyre temperatures and rear tyre like degradation.
Well, I think it did, but like when you ask your driver for 8 seconds around Austria, like
But I mean, before that, after that rather, because he was even like having a blister on his second set.
because he was pushing so
So-
hard.
Or was he? I mean, then, what would it have been like without that upgrade?
Well, probably
where would-
terrible.
Where would he have been? Would they even have got pole?
Well, they would have got pole because it doesn't matter.
Mm.
I mean, with temperatures, it was a hot day that day.
It was hotter in the race, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, should probably get on to
Moving on to-
Verstappen.
Yes, moving on to our race winner. Georgie will be rather happy about this.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen.
Finally.
A really solid
He's
performance.
fucked up a couple
Yeah.
times, but finally he's done it. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Once he got in the lead, he just looked untouchable. Just
He
like-
always does though. It's a
Yeah.
weird thing with
Uh,
Verstappen.
I mean, after Ricardo retired, they turned down his engine because they feared he would retire too.
Yeah, sensible. He had a 5-second lead.
I tell you what, Max, I really think he's a fucking solid racing driver. Once he gets, like, I think, again, I keep talking about turning points. There's a lot of turning points in Formula 1. But this season is a turning point for Max Verstappen. I think we've seen him really mature into a fucking good, solid racing driver who, like Daniel Ricciardo, has the ability to turn it on when he needs to, but then tone it down when he needs to. But I think Max is just better in terms of faster.
Yeah.
Well, he has outqualified Ricardo 6-3 this season.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that Ricciardo's a bad driver by any means, but Max Verstappen still is, for me, like, could be, like, a fucking, like, 20-time world champion if...
Accurate.
Well, he's only
That would
20.
work out.
I know, I'm exaggerating, but he could easily win multiple championships. He's only 20 years old, People have to
Yeah.
remember that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's scary to think that we could have like multiple people break Schumacher's record.
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
Hamilton and Vettel are only 3 off. Verstappen's still got what, at least 15 years left in him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's, you know, if Honda do well, then Red Bull could be really good in 2020 or 2021 or whatever.
But then you look back as well. I mean, you know, you got Charles Leclerc, who is also going to be a world champion as far as I'm concerned.
I think that's going to be like a classic battle that we're going to look back on.
I mean,
Like
hopefully.
30 years.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Verstappen in the Red Bull, Leclerc in the Ferrari, Ocon in the Mercedes. That's
Well,
gonna
I would
be-
even say George Russell in the Mercedes. I rate him very highly. He was really brilliant in GP2 this weekend, leading the
F2.
championship, I believe. F2, sorry. I think he's leading the championship or second at this point.
No, he's leading now.
He's leading now. He got ahead of Lando Norris. So, I
They're
mean,
two brilliant drivers.
yeah.
aren't they?
Unfortunately, Lando Norris is the McLaren guy, but
Yeah. That's about McLaren the better.
I could see Lando going to Ferrari in a few years.
well, yeah.
Leclerc and Norris at Ferrari. Oof,
Yeah,
that
we're
could be some
gonna-
lineup.
Oh, McLaren aren't getting better anytime soon, are they?
No.
They haven't got the
Nah.
infrastructure to do it long term either.
Like the only hope they've got is like 2021. Like that's
Exactly.
that's probably looking like a slim hope.
But I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
tell you, but it just shows you every single team needs a good boss. Mercedes have a great boss. Red Bull have a great boss. Ferrari have a semi-good boss.
Mercedes have loads of great bosses.
Well, yeah, exactly. Everybody in their team is a leader.
Hmm.
I don't see any leaders at McLaren. Eric Boulier just sort of goes, oh, yes, oh, yeah.
And today on F1
I mean,
impressions-
if I'm honest with you, the leader in McLaren is Fernando Alonso.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
the leader in
Yeah.
if your leader is Fernando Alonso, then you're fucked.
Mr.
That's
I'm
right.
9.5.
As Ferrari found out.
I mean, having said that,
Yeah.
like he was fucking insane at the Grand Prix, but
Yeah. I think we'll get onto him a bit later.
We're going to get into another Alonso.
well, I mean,
Okay.
as much as I dislike the guy, he keeps popping up with great performances. You can't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because Stoffel Van Dorn had a really shocking race.
That's a very interesting point that Ted Kravitz brought up, that Alonso's front wing was from last year.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
yeah.
Yeah. Because the nose was this year, but the entire wing and all the elements were from last year because they had such an issue with the curbs.
It's probably better as well. That's the thing.
What does that tell you about McLaren?
Yeah, exactly. But while it was joy and brilliance for one Red Bull, it was despair for the other.
Another
Poor
time.
Daniel Ricciardo. On his birthday as well. What a great birthday present.
Happy birthday, Daniel. Here's your failure.
I think it's like a curse to have your birthday, Austria, because it happened to Vettel in 2016 with his tyre failure.
I mean, it just sucks for Daniel Ricciardo. He's just been cornered into Red Bull. I mean, it's just a shame. But
I mean,
like,
Yeah.
As Lambert likes to talk about turning points, could this be a turning point for his contract talks?
well, I'm a bit, but where's he supposed to go? He can't go to Ferrari. He can't go to Mercedes. He can't,
The only place is McLaren.
and he's not going to McLaren.
I think if he could, if I were him, I'd try and get to Renault.
Yeah, but
I
that's not going to happen.
It could.
Mm.
Well, apparently on the morning of the race, he already signed a contract with Red Bull, they say.
Ironically, apparently that contract is exactly the same with Max, but during the weekend, you know, he was accusing the team of favouring Max. It's a very interesting dynamic.
I think he means not necessarily in terms of financially. I think he sort of means like. I think he was just a bit annoyed with the whole qualifying situation. It probably wasn't explained to him very clearly. I don't think it's anything to
Well-
read into, honestly.
He did admit that he should have talked to his engineers a bit more about it.
Well, but he's a man of emotion. Sometimes when you in the heat of the moment, you say things that aren't strictly 100% the truth or things that you would normally say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Tensions do rise in the cockpit. But I think dropping off Red Bull and going to what was basically the third fastest team this weekend of Ferrari, they were kind of really quiet this weekend.
Yeah.
Like, they just didn't seem to be there, like, at all, anywhen. I know Vettel topped FP3, but that's just nothing.
It was a very anticlimactic qualifying session.
Yeah.
Because we went into it thinking...
Coming into the weekend, I swear, I think it was like Lewis said, that he was expecting it to be one of the closest qualies in the year. It turned out, well, it was close between the two Mercs, but then everyone else was like 3/10 behind.
I mean, I don't know. I think Ferrari just they really did get away with it this weekend.
They definitely took advantage of other people's issues.
I think it all fell into place. If I'm honest with you, there wasn't much taking advantage to do.
Yeah,
They were just dropping like flies in front of them.
Kimi had a very strong race.
I don't know. I think not really. I get
He
the feeling.
he had a great start and then he fucked it up.
I get the feeling that he could have gone for the win. If I'm honest, if he went a little earlier.
I don't think he had the pace. Because they were all conserving tyres.
I think he said that they could have stopped conserving the tyres way earlier. I think they probably should have.
Possibly.
And just
but then
gone for it.
They were probably worried about having a repeat of what happened to Ricardo. I don't know why they did that though, because they were a lap ahead of Grosjean, who was in fourth.
Hmm.
So once Hamilton retired, like theoretically, they could have just like pushing. But anyhow, I'm not a team manager.
It's just that mentality they seem to have this year of just doing the one stop.
Or maybe they knew that they didn't have the pace to win.
Maybe.
So then they were just like, okay, let's not risk, having a puncture and damaging the car. Let's just bring it home and get second and third.
I guess we'll never know. But moving on to Grosjean, what a performance for Haas this weekend.
Finally gets points.
Redemption for
Grosjean.
Australia.
Yeah. Grosjean finally picks up his season after a rather incident-prone year.
I just thought of that actually. You had Grosjean and Verstappen, who both made they've been crash fanatics this season. They both had the strongest result of the season.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
Interesting.
strange.
Yeah. But like Geordie said, it is redemption for the points they lost in Australia.
It's Haas's best ever result on their 50th Grand Prix.
Yeah. I think it moves them up to 5th in the Constructors.
yeah.
Yeah, a few points
Yeah.
ahead of McLaren.
Yeah, just behind Renault.
I think Haas, McLaren and Force India all separated by 7 points.
Yeah.
Force India, of course, capitalised on other people having bad weekends as well, coming home 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
It seemed to be a quite good weekend for the smaller teams, just picking up on the big teams falling out. Because Sauber, of course, came home with their double points finish as well.
Yeah.
First time in 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, since
Now puts them
China
even further ahead of Williams.
Williams.
What a meme.
Oh, I don't think. It's going to take a miracle for them to score points again.
I don't really see another track. Yeah, I don't really see another track where they're going to be quick this year.
Sorry, Saf, you were saying?
They're not scoring points this season. They don't have the car.
I mean, they already have scored points, but
As in the rest of the season, that's what I mean.
I mean, Sorokin definitely isn't going to score points. If anyone's going to score points for Williams, it's going to be Stroll.
They might be.
By
they might be
the
able
way,
to-
that's a very depressing sentence.
Yes.
If anybody is going to score points for Williams, it's going to be Stroll.
Jesus.
The
Bring back
only
Marvin
track I
Albert.
could possibly think of them even having a chance at is Mexico.
That's
That's
No,
really
because
it.
Mexico's very high downforce. Because of
Yeah,
how high it
Because
is.
of the high altitude, they have to run high downforce.
Yeah. That's why Red Bull favour their chances there. I
Yeah.
could see them maybe nicking a point at Monza.
I was about to say Monza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's only if there's a massive incident-filled thing.
Or they have another repeat of last year when it was mad out qualifying. And somehow Williams started on the front row.
Still got beaten by Force India.
and his
I was, so,
teammate.
I was so happy when Stroll was on the front row.
Oh,
So
why don't we just go back to 2017 and Williams were like a little bit better?
a little bit.
Only a little bit.
Although,
Just a
like,
bit.
we're saying that, it's like Sauber just going to be there at Monza, because Sauber have a very like draggy car,
Yeah.
or low drag rather.
They have very high top speed. I think it's quite a slippery car in a straight line,
Yeah.
which is what Williams used to be, and it isn't really now.
Oh, we haven't got enough downforce. Let's have more downforce and less
Oh no, our more downforce hasn't worked. At least
No,
we'll still
no.
have straight line speed. Oh wait.
Oh no, now we've got no straight line speed and no drag and no downforce.
Now
Cheers,
we just
Paddy.
have nothing. We just have a boat.
I can see now why Mercedes never gave Paddy Lowe a senior, management job. Because he just went to Williams. He's like, I'm going to be the boss now. I'm going to make Williams into a championship contending car.
This season happened.
Oh wait.
Oh wait a minute.
I'm not quite sure what Padlo's thinking, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, just why would you leave Mercedes?
How,
Like,
how drunk was he when he made that decision?
I mean,
Well, I
I've
believe
Look, in the Merc after party.
I mean, if
after
I'm
Abu
honest with
Dhabi.
you,
Let's just go
yeah.
drunk.
I've driven past the Mercedes headquarters many times on the A43 outside Brackley, and it's lovely. Why'd you leave?
well, I believe that he had like disagreements with Toto Wolff and that because basically he wanted more power.
Well,
So when the opportunity for Bottas, getting into the team, kind of just did a quick swap, and he was like, "Yeah, I've got more power. Now I'm at the back of the grid."
I've got more power, but I've got nothing to use it on.
There was an interesting. Did you see that tweet? During qualifying? No, that message that Claire Williams.
so it was about
texting.
uniform.
Yeah, during qualifying.
Like,
Wow.
I feel like they should be worrying slightly more about the car.
You know,
and the track.
like your cars at the back, like every race weekend. No. The uniform.
I bet she was like getting an ice cream or something. And she's like,
They must
"Oh,
no.
shit."
I think it was about like they were wearing shorts instead of trousers, and that was like
And it was on the pit wall.
yeah.
So
No,
it's
I mean,
all-
Wow.
If I'm honest with you, nobody gives a shit about what they look like.
It's about like
screw the
it's about
races. I want the
sponsors.
people on the pit wall to wear trousers.
Oh no, it's about like the image as a brand and professionality, and they've got to get more sponsors on there. So, because
I mean, the Williams brand's pretty dead at this point, but
Martini are leaving them, so there goes their 20 million a year.
might finally get a new livery next year.
In comes Rio Haryanto next year.
Here comes Julian Palmer.
Jesus Christ.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, Jolyon Palmer actually would be better than both of their drivers.
No, Julian Palmer doesn't have enough funding.
Well, yeah. I mean, Jolyon Palmer's going to be like a full-time pundit now, forever.
To be fair, he's not a bad one.
No, he's not. That's very true.
Yeah, he is pretty good.
I wouldn't know.
Nice
No,
one.
he was on that F1 Live. I can't remember where, but he was on F1 Live.
Spain?
I think it was Spain.
Yeah, I think it was Spain.
No, I mean,
Oh, no.
this is completely like irrelevant in terms of the Austrian Grand Prix, but shout out Will Buxton.
Yeah.
Will Buxton's the best.
Will Buxton has done an incredible job this year.
Yeah.
He does an incredible job every year because he's like the best.
I know, but especially this year, like having to take on this pretty much by himself. You know, he's the only presenter for F1.
Oh no, there's that woman.
Oh yeah, but she's shit, isn't she?
She's really shit.
She's
Do
just
you
like
watch F2? She's so shit.
she's
in
just sort of
F2.
like wanks over Valtteri Bottas on the, but like, I mean, Will Buxton's just great. He's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could say he's fantastic.
Oh, God.
Speaking of,
Anyway, moving on.
Magnussen and Grosjean, 5th and 4th respectively. Fucking good
I
job.
talked about this already, but
Nice 5 minutes ago.
Wait, have we talked about Haas?
Yes, we literally said. I literally ended up saying Haas.
Look, I'm sorry, I've had a very fucking stressful evening. If
Yeah,
people,
all right, Belgium 3-2.
yeah, I know, yeah, we're recording this an hour after the game finished, and I've just about recovered.
Do you want to talk about Haas Lambrechts?
I'm just pleased for them because they, after the toughness of Australia, they've come back.
Yeah, great.
Good.
As a Haas,
If I'm honest with you, I think we should probably move on quite significantly to something else.
McLaren?
No, I think,
Alonso?
I remember,
I would have talked about Alonso.
we've already done that.
We
but-
didn't say that he did a pit lane start to 8th. That is fucking impressive.
I mean, it's
Best
alright.
pit lane start of his career.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, it's a pit lane start to 8th with Hulkenberg, Hamilton, Bottas, Ricciardo out of the race.
And Sainz having a really slow pit stop, which fucked his entire race.
Yeah, so it was more like pit lane to 13th if those cars were in the race.
So pit lane to McLaren, basically, because that's
Yeah.
where they are.
Yeah. So okay, it was all right. He kind of took what he had in front of him, but I think it's time, judging by what we have left to talk about, the race ratings.
Oh boy, our favourite part of the show.
Race
right.
rating.
Oh god.
So you know what? I'm going to take over for this. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Sorry, Daniel.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I've been I've just been fired.
You've
Sorry,
been
guys.
yes.
See you later. See you later, guys. Hope you enjoy it with Lambert. I'll just be off.
So Saf, I'm going to ask you first.
Well played.
My race rating.
Your race
I
rating.
have to give it
Is it a 7?
a 5.75 out of 10.
Oh, you're shit.
That's specific.
Why?
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 I just. What do you mean, why?
Well, why? What do you mean? What do you mean? Why?
so low?
No, not necessarily why. No, not necessarily low, but just why in general. Like why? Why 5.75? Why? Give me a reason.
I've never heard the word "why" said more often in my entire life.
For context here, that's lower than people rated France.
I was gonna say, yeah, just give me a reason. Just a little bit's enough.
I just genuinely didn't really enjoy the race.
Why? That doesn't.
Why?
like it's a podcast, mate. You have to like explain yourself. Why?
There's not really much else to say. It was just like, okay, yeah, cool, that happened.
Okay, right, fine. Fucking Geordie.
Great banter.
Geordie, what are you?
Why are you on the podcast if you have nothing to talk about it?
Oh god, this is going in the blooper reel.
Right, one that's going in the middle of the podcast. I think Geordie, continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bringing
If Jordan-
laughs. This is my job. I'm bringing laughs.
If Geordie's isn't a 10, I'll be very
Yeah,
surprised.
Geordie, what's your rating?
11 out of 10.
I knew he was
Nice.
going to say that.
No.
I was surprised you shouldn't say 33 out of 10.
Okay, well, moving on from
Yeah,
Geordie.
30, no, but no, it's 8 out of 10, of course. Slightly biased. Only slightly.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, the tension, pretty much. Yeah, it's. I mean, of course, you give a higher rating when a favorite driver who doesn't win often wins.
I mean, when Magnussen wins, it's going to be a 20 out of 10.
I mean that is just like
Yeah.
never gonna happen. But
It
Like-
is. He's going to go to Ferrari next year.
Oh god.
he just is. Right. And for
Talk about
that,
spinning season.
we'll skip over Jeebus for a minute. We'll go to Daniel.
Oh, this is what happened. This is what happens.
This is what happens when Lambrex takes control.
Right, Daniel, what's your race rating? My 9.
I would say 7.5. It was a good race, there's a lot of tension, good action as well, so I really enjoyed it.
And
Even though Hamilton didn't finish. I'm such a fanboy.
Louise Brumby, what is your?
I hate you so much.
This is why we don't let Lambrex host full time.
I will rate it a solid 8.
A solid
Oh,
8 out of 10.
8.
Nice.
We had action, we had drama, we had overtakes, we had interesting strategy, even though it was a one-stop. It was a one-stop, but there were people going onto a two-stop. And if, in my opinion, if you can have 3 stops. They're boring because you know everyone's going to do a 3-stop. If you have alternative ones,
I don't know if it was.
we have,
Oh god.
everyone's going into it thinking, oh, it's just a shit one-stop. And then people are
And it
just
was,
like, oh.
wasn't it?
No,
Well,
because then
well,
like,
to
Ricardo
be fair.
had a massive blister.
Okay, yeah, but let me put it you this way. The only reason let me put it this way. The only reason that Ricardo could pit and Hamilton could pit was because they were like 17 years ahead of Haas.
Oh, that's a different issue that we're going to go off to.
Yes.
Oh, sure. But like, if they had like closer competition, it would have been a one stop.
Talk in the context of this season. This isn't 2012, where like a fucking Sauber can.
Oh, I know. I'm
Sorry.
not complaining about the competitiveness this season because it's been like acceptable. But
It's the first time ever that 3 teams have 3 wins in the first 9 races.
But yeah, like I mean, you say the gap between the midfield, it's a chasm between the midfield and the front 3. But
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
and now onto my race rating.
Everyone's favourite
-7 out of 10.
part. Oh Jesus
No,
Christ!
I'm joking.
Oh.
I give I think it's a 7 out of 10. It was like
No, you just stole Saf's line. Get off.
no 7 out of 10. It was good action. Well, decent action, great drama, decent action. I mean, some overtaking. I mean, yeah, a lot of overtaking. Good enough. It was a race like Paul Ricard, just sort of what you expect from a Grand Prix. Just sort of all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree
Like
with that.
it was just an enjoyable race. Like I didn't go away from it thinking, "Oh fucking hell, what a waste of my time." I thought, "Oh, that was sick."
Canada.
Exactly. Well, actually, because that's what I was thinking after Canada. Like I could have like fucking done like my maths homework or something.
Canada. More
Imagine
boring than
having-
maths homework.
Literally, and I hate maths. But like,
Who doesn't hate maths?
and I take A-level maths. But there you go.
Well, bad, but
Yeah, it was just right. I mean,
yeah.
a bit depressed about
I
Mercedes.
think it's kind of what we have to expect from races.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I sort of enjoyed. For some reason, I just enjoyed Paul Ricard slightly more. I just think I like the action or the strategy or something about Paul Ricard. It was just a slightly better race.
They had no strategy.
No, not this again. We had this last time.
Here we go.
Either way,
Here we go again.
too good.
Before we get into a
No,
full-blown
look,
rant.
it was just too good in a row. So I'm happy.
Yes, we've made up for like the kind of couple of bad races we were having.
Now
I
on.
think if
But
Belgium
Yeah.
had lost, Lamberts would
If
be
well, if
first.
Belgium if Belgium had lost, I wouldn't be here right now.
oh god, thank you Belgium.
Yeah. Well,
But
it depends
anyway,
which way you look at
moving
it.
on. Yeah, but I think we'll move on to personal driver of the day because I think there's a few out there. Not like last time. We all know what Geordie's going to go for, but so Geordie, why don't you start us off?
Yeah. Well, surprisingly, my driver of the day goes to Max Verstappen.
Wow!
No way!
Unbelievable things. Complete shock.
Let me just write an article about that on WordPress.
Yeah, you can find it on our new blog.
F1agenda.com/WordPress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost.
Download the merch.
Wait, what? How far ahead are you planning? Anyway,
Yeah,
moving
just let me
on.
download this T-shirt.
Yeah. We can have Saf 7 out of 10 on a t-shirt, but... Jeebus, who's your driver of the day?
I could go for Verstappen. I could go for Grosjean. I'm gonna go for a different flavour. I'm
Is it
gonna go
Magnussen?
for No, I'm gonna go
Wow.
for Pierre Gasly
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Gasly had to hold his steering wheel to the left throughout the entire race. His car was practically undrivable, and he still managed to get what P11.
Yeah.
Very, very good drive.
Yeah. Lambrex, you?
I'm gonna go for another different flavour as well.
Oh,
Yeah, I
really
know.
mixing it up today.
I'm gonna give my driver of the day, and be ready. You might need to like give yourself a hug or something. My driver
Do I
of the
need to
day.
stand back?
My driver of the day is Lewis Hamilton.
I give up.
No. Let me finish. He made a fantastic start. He did the job. He was driving away. The race was in his hands. He got fisted by his team, and he then really worked
And
hard.
his engine fisted itself.
Yeah, he worked really. He drove really well in the part of the race where he was trying to come back with machinery that clearly wasn't capable, and he would have.
Well, that's going to get some bait in the comments.
No, because it was the car. You could tell the car wasn't firing on all cylinders, quite literally. So, but like, I mean, I get he's my driver of the day. But I mean, also honourable mentions to Valtteri Bottas, Max Verstappen, and Stoffel van Dorn.
Oh god.
Van Dorn.
Jesus
Well then.
Christ.
No, it's Belgium. I mean, you know.
Yeah, oh god.
Van Dorn did nothing.
No, but I
except-
don't care. Football's coming home. Right, Geordie.
Yeah, to Britain, not Belgium.
Geordie, what's your race rating? Race rating, driver of the day.
What?
We've done Geordie.
Don't Jordan, we're moving to Saf.
Why did you start with
Sam.
Geordie?
Because it was Verstappen that won.
Yeah, but we always go in alphabetical order.
You
I didn't, that's true. Right, Saf, go.
That backfired, didn't it? Sam,
You're
what
in
about
reverse
you?
alphabetical. I know, because in my head I have like several driver of the day. Almost want to give it to Hulkenberg because he gave a spectacular retirement. That engine blew up.
That's not
Ten
Wait,
out of ten
you're going to
smoke
give
again.
him driver of the day because his engine blew up.
I'm sorry, it was...
It wasn't even his engine, it was his turbo.
Or whatever it was spectacular and I loved watching it. I
You
want to
lo-
give it to Hamilton because he drove really well and I feel really bad how Mercedes just completely fucked him over. But I also want to give it to Leclerc for getting points once again. So, any of those guys.
Yeah.
And
think
finally, predictions. Oh no,
Wait,
Daniel.
whoa. I haven't done mine yet. Lambrex, stop taking over.
Stop being such a communist.
Christ. Right, my personal driver of the day is actually Charles Leclerc. Because he was in the gravel, basically. I can't remember what lap it was on.
That one.
It was that one.
That one.
Up to ninth. So, that's my driver of the day. And now we can move on to Lambrex's bit. If we can do the predictions now. Lambrex, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't really believe in fate, particularly, but I really don't want to predict what I actually think is going to happen because then it will be a jinx. So I'm going to go for Vettel pole, Vettel win, and you can work out what I mean when I say Vettel
Right.
win, Vettel pole.
Right, Vettel DNS, we all know it's Lambrex's fault.
No, you know what I mean. If you just sort of reverse engineer it, you know what I mean.
Yeah, okay. Because Hamilton DNF in Austria and you predicted it last week. Oh, I said it. But, okay, Jeebus, what about you?
I don't know what kind of voodoo magic you people play. Probably Hamilton pole, Hamilton win. I want Bottas to win. I feel bad for him. But Hamilton and Silverstone, it's just kind of, he always wins there.
I mean, he's always won at China and Canada, and that's not other shit, so.
Yes, but, meh.
Meh.
Yes, but meh.
Jesus. Georgie, what about you?
Yeah, probably same. Lewis take double because it's coming home. F1's coming home.
Quite literally.
Well, it is. Yeah, it is coming home.
Saf, what about you?
Hamilton, Paul, Raikkonen win.
Ooh, well, no, fucking well. I mean, no, like Raikkonen's not going to win a race, is he? Like,
I mean, he is.
Well, we had this at the start of the year, like everyone was predicting.
Everyone
Raikkonen
predicted
to win.
Raikkonen to do well, and then it's always just gone downhill.
like if Raikkonen wins a race, like hell will freeze over. Like, and hell doesn't exist, so Raikkonen's got no chance. Like,
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna. I would go Bottas, but I feel I've cursed him in the last 2 weeks. I've predicted him to
well,
win.
if you predict Raikkonen, then like the opposite will happen. So
Alright,
Bottas will.
Raikkonen then.
There you go.
Nah, but seriously, I think Hamilton will probably dominate the weekend. Start
Exactly.
feeling him and Silverstone will work.
And he's
But
gonna
anyway.
crowd surf again.
Exactly. But I think that's where we'll wrap it up for this week. Thanks for listening, everybody. like and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with us. Also, follow us on Twitter at the F1 Agenda, and also check out our blog. All the links and stuff will be in the description below. And thanks for joining me, guys, and say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It's coming home.
It's still coming out.
To Belgium, yeah.
All right. No.
Well, I mean, that was a slightly delirious performance from me.